Hey, my lovely friends, let's learn more vocabulary with Piers Morgan Show.
When she said that the schoolgirl in question was acting out a fallacy, I think you meant a fantasy. But actually, she is acting out a fallacy.
Thanks ever
a
so
fallacy.
much. But do you know what I find fascinating?
She was right with fallacy.
Do you know what's fascinating about
which
Douglas?
has been propagated. A fallacy which has been propagated by gender ideologues. And
Okay, so a few good words for me to go over with you. First, let's talk about the word ideologue. Who is an ideologue? This is a person who sticks to their opinion or a school of thought. We use this word to criticize this person, to mean that they're probably dogmatic, they're very stubborn and are unwilling to change their mind. Let's talk about the word fallacy that you heard repeatedly being pronounced. This is a false belief. It is a mistaken belief, which is born of an unsound argument, an unreasonable argument, or a line of reasoning. Okay, another word here. To propagate is to promote or to spread something, usually an idea widely. So this is a false belief, says Douglas, which is spread by those people who are so bought into a particular frame of mind.
is doing profound damage to gay people, among others, in our society, as well as women.
Like
and let me
you've ever
explain
cared.
very quick. Let me
Ever cared.
explain very quickly why. I can't quite hear you, but I can hear you muttering something. Let me quickly explain why. A poll that just got published in the United States showed that among the general population, support for gay marriage has been starting to decline in the last year. Why is that? It's because the arguments that actually brought about liberal rights for all minorities in the last few decades have started to get turned on their head. And
when something gets turned on its head, it changes completely. For instance, if an argument is turned on its head, it usually aims to prove that something is wrong, which it previously claimed to be correct.
Turned against people. What is the source of that? It is the gender ideology movement. What is the tripwire for the general public? It is children. It is people learning that their children are being taught nonsensical things. It is being seen by the wider public, most of whom are heterosexual and don't need to identify as cis or anything else. It is being seen from that vantage point as the LGBTQIA plus movement losing control of itself. And so a backlash is starting. And the backlash is coming because people are lying to children and are using children for medical experiments. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing that should cause levity in that.
Okay, let's talk about a very good word. This one is levity. Let me spell it for you. Levity is humor where it's not appropriate. So Douglas is saying, hey, what you are doing or your mannerism is not called for. This is pronounced levity with stress on the first part.
It should be treated by adults seriously.
OK, Ava?
So, Douglas, it's really important, actually, all of that point that you've just brought up, it's very on brand for you because, you know, you...
It's very on brand for you. So let me share that phrase with you. This is an adjective. Here, this lady is saying that this is very much like you or is in keeping with your personality or your behavior. It shows consistency with who you are.
Like to stoke fear. You've actually made a career out of it. I'll take you back to your book, The Strange Death of Europe, and you made a big fright. You frightened the entire public about your thoughts on Europe, and we ended up in Brexit. You weren't the sole contributor to that, but you were a big voice.
Can we stick on to
that.
the
Ava,
theme?
I will. And then, now we're
quickly,
talking about LGBTQ,
if I may say so
and you're
very
creating...
quickly,
Hang on, you spoke. I'm speaking.
No,
I'm speaking.
I'll
you spoke.
reply.
This is,
I'll reply.
Hello. I haven't
Let
finished.
Ava speak, please.
Now, back on the trans issue, when you're talking about LGBTQ, what you've just done there is basically say that the whole of America, who have historically had a problem with gay marriage, are now turning on it because a couple of children in a classroom in Sussex want to be a cat. If you can't see the ridiculousness in that argument, I can't help you.
The bigger issue is there is no such thing as gender ideology. We all have gender identities. You identify as a man. and I fully respect you.
Well, no, hang on. I don't identify as a man. I was born a biological male.
Yes.
That's where this whole thing
Piers, you need to let me
goes rogue.
Okay, so here's another good adjective that I could introduce. So Piers says, this is where the debate or the discussion goes rogue. Rogue means wild or astray. When a debate, a discussion goes rogue, it essentially goes in the wrong direction. It does not make sense anymore. Let's pronounce it together, rogue.
Bring it back in, Douglas, and want to say, that's where the whole debate goes rogue. You were born a biological male. You were born a biological female. Douglas, biological male. This is just a fact. Right?
No.
Once you start saying there are hundreds of genders and you can identify as anything you want, you're going to end up with kids at school going, I'm a horse. And you've got to treat me like a horse.
Piers, you're confusing two things.
No, I'm not.
Sex and gender.
I'm not.
I accept
they are being conflated.
Okay, the last word of the lesson is conflate. When two ideas are conflated, they are combined. We tend to use this word to mean something negative. So they are combined, but not in a suitable way. They are confused, put together in an inappropriate way. Anyways, regardless of what you think, I bet you've learned at least one word with my video lesson. See you in the next video.